Andiamo.
Andiamo.
Let's go. Let's go together.
Okay, should I try sharing my screen?
Let's do it.
Okay, share. This is, I always cross my fingers here. Oh my goodness, it's sharing. You said andiamo and I threw an audible here. Okay, hold on. Buonasera is what I said. Yeah, a little bit of Italian in there. Very little, but yeah. Good evening, folks. And from all of us here, this has been a heck of a week. Oh my goodness. I think as far as the sleep deprivation, the king of sleep deprivation this week, Curtis, functioning on how many hours of sleep right now? Dude, you should take a lap. Curtis had a one day spring break with his kids, or fall break with his kids. You were at Disneyland yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Okay, all right. Welcome everyone. Oh my goodness, what a week. What a crazy weekend. It was Friday at 10:10. We opened up applications, and my whole goal was, hey, I'm going to launch the first 100 club. Except by the time I actually started saying that, which was like 20-30 minutes into the thing, we were already past 100 people. So much for that. We'd like to have recognized that, but we will. We have all of that logged in. So let me just do a quick announcement here for folks that are used to calling in and they see this slide, the team profile. You know, the company you keep keeps your company strong. And I'm fortunate here. I've got a very good team. And the person that is on the slide deck that we blacked out for a couple of weeks now, at one point we called this man John Wayne, and we had a picture of John Wayne in there, and I was having a lot of fun with this. But it is a former business partner of myself and Joe's from a former life, Mr. Kent Wood, the man, the myth, the legend from the beautiful metropolis of Weiser, Idaho. Okay, in the scheme of things, Shelburne, Ontario, Canada is one of the most hayseed towns to be from in the world. Kent's tops mine. So Kent is from potato country of Idaho. He was raised on a dairy farm. He is a Seattle Mariners fan, which is right now a little oil and water for this office, since those of you following baseball, we're not going to talk about it. Apparently we have some Seattle fans throwing love to Kent out there. But before I'm going to have Kent say a few words here in a minute or two. But we've got his, oh wait, there he is. Eccolo qua. There's Kent. Get a little wave, the queen wave. Oh, look at it. Yeah. Is his mic on? Keep his mic off. I had fun announcing today that I was like, hey, Ken, I think on the org chart, you're reporting to me, which is kind of funny because we've always been cross-lined, but ridiculously talented human being. And we got a couple of slides that he's going to talk about here in a minute. I also got a fun picture from when Kent and I looks like we're 12. Okay, Friday recap. Let me actually jump into this. We actually have some stuff that we're going to announce because people are coming in fast and furious. So, Adam, you want to help me with this next little bit?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of stuff to announce tonight. Introducing what we're calling our Vanguard recognition. I'm a big fan of recognition. At 58 years of age, it's very rare that I get a pat on the back. But everybody on this call, you should reach around, pat yourself on the back tonight, because it's been a humdinger of the last few days. So we have some things that we are announcing tonight as far as recognition going forward. We're saying qualify now and belong forever. This is this beautiful little window in time. It's a window where none of us are sleeping full 8 hours these days here in the office. And if people were busyness, this office would be China right now. It's very busy. But we're going to announce these two forms of recognition for those folks who are part of our pioneering efforts here in the earliest stages. Sometimes companies will say, do you have a period of time, like a founder's period of time, where people get recognized for their pathfinding efforts? This is it. First one is what we're calling the 2020, the Oliabo Collective, the 2025 Collective. We're saying Oliabo's collective greatness, and everybody on this line can be recognized in this. I will tell Adam, maybe you can help me out. Here are the qualifications for the Oliabo Collective.
So the Oliabo Collective qualifications are be one of the first 2,025 people to join Oliabo. So congratulations to all of you on this call who are already in the Oliabo system. You've already hit qualification number 1. Number 2, place an order the week product is available to secure your spot. And done. Spots without an order will be relinquished to the next eligible representative. And membership perks, forever recognition. You're forever recognized as one of the founding members of this company, someone who was here from the beginning.
So Adam, if we end up, let's say once we hit 2,025 people, there's a little clue in this. We have not hit 2,025 people yet. Okay. But let's say, Adam, we hit our 2,025 people and we end up at 250, but like, I don't know, 25 people don't place an order the first week they can place an order. What happens?
Yeah. So that's the second part of the qualifications is that you have to place an order the week product is available to secure your spot. So what that means is if you don't place an order, your spot is removed from the 2025 and whoever was number 2026 is now moved in to the qualifications of the collective group. So you want to make sure you're doing both of those qualifications. Again, number 1, be one of the first 2,025 people to join Oliabo. Number 2, make sure you're placing an order the week product is available to secure your spot.
Thank you, Adam. The second one that we announced was the Oliabo Club Grand. Grand, meaning 1,000, like a grand, you get it? The M, okay, somebody in the office today who shall remain nameless said, hey, why is there M, but it's called Club Grand? I'm like, because in the Roman numerical system, M is 1,000. So that's the way we remember it, okay? Club Grand. Also, for those of you nerds out there, like, you know, I love the fact that my mom's hometown is just 20 minutes from Venice. And that's the Grand Canal, huh? The Grand Canal, Venice, all right.
Hey, Gord, can I jump in here? This is Joe.
Yes, sure, Joe.
There was a bunch of questions going through, and I just want to say when Adam was talking about placing the order, just a reminder, everyone, and someone's bound to say this tonight, but since it's the discussion, the orders will be next month. Maybe you could address that, Gord, because they were saying, how can I place my order? I'm sure other people had that same question. Product will be available. We'll be opening up for orders next month. So maybe you just want to address that because I'm sure people want to put their order in right now. You know what I mean? Which is great. Thank you
I'll touch on that real quick. Yeah. So just quick reminder that we'll be opening the pre-order period when it looks like product is about 30 days out from shipping. So right now, we're looking at product probably being ready to ship towards the end of November. So aiming for a potential pre-order period towards the end of October. That could slip a week or so into early November, but that's still the timeline that we're working towards. So pre-order period is when you'd be able to first start making your orders. And we're aiming for end of October, early November for that, so that then we can be shipping product hopefully by end of November with the current manufacturing timeline.
And there is a product announcement coming up very shortly, okay? By the way, all these numbers that we're throwing out, you don't have to remember them all. This is going to be available afterwards. But I do have, if people like numbers, we're starting with a lot of numbers here. And for those people that are
We're going to go through qualification.
Oh, yeah, because somebody interrupted me, my brother, my little brother. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, so for the Club Grand, qualifications will be, number 1, be one of the original 1,000 people to join Oliabo. So our first 1,000 individuals that were put into the system, their first qualification they've already made, right? Second qualification, you need to sign up for subscription for your product to lock in your spot. So out of those first 1,000 individuals, there has to be at least, well, it could even go beyond that. To Gordon's point just a minute ago, it could go beyond 1,000 because the next spot talks about spots without a subscription will be relinquished to the next eligible representative. So what does that mean? So if you have, let's say, 1,000 individuals, and let's say 10 of those do not do a subscription, we're going to look for 10 moving upward from 1,000 to find and fill those spots so that we get to a total group of 1,000 people for the Club Grand. Again, membership perks. This is something you're going to be able to brag about forever.
should we show these and maybe we talk about
Yeah.
the Forever brand
Yeah.
discussion?
Absolutely. So these are going to be two different branding items that you're going to be able to qualify for. Again, if you're within the first 2025, you're going to get the 2025 collective, and these are going to come in different shapes and forms. We're still putting together what those are going to look like, but some of the pieces, just to give you some teasers, these might be some things that we put together at events. These might be that we're sending out frames that you guys can share with your picture on Facebook. It might be a background that you're able to put your name and your picture on and share on Facebook. So these are going to be recognition pieces that you guys will be able to share with all of your friends and family throughout social media and get recognized once again from them. But also the Club Grand, same thing. So for those 1,000 members, we're going to be doing some of those key aspects as well to make sure we're giving you guys the respect that you deserve.
Excellent. Hey, can I ask a question, Adam, leading the witness? Could I, if I was listening to this call tonight and signed up, and could I possibly be in the Club Grand and the Oliabo Collective?
Yeah, so technically you would be able to qualify for both of these.
Yeah.
Because if you're part of the first 1,000 group and you get on subscription, you've already hit the qualifications for the 2025 collective as well, right? Because the qualifications for that one were that you were in the first 2025 to sign up in the system and that you have an order. Your subscription's already going to take care of that. So you would qualify for both of these.
Excellent. Thank you, young Adam. By the way, these little icons, you're going to see a lot of these in the future. This is forever recognition. Okay. Anybody that saw I was putting some stuff on Instagram. I went and saw Paul McCartney with my family during their fall break last weekend. And so he looked out at someone gives a little love for Paul. That's good. At one point he stopped the plane and he said, "Hey, can I see that sign?" And somebody held up a sign and he said, "You came and saw me at Shea Stadium," which would have been 1966 or something. And they showed the lady in the crowd and she just started crying and she had a sign. "I was there at Shea Stadium." I'm like, that's great recognition, man. I'm like, way to go. You're at Shea Stadium and you're in Las Vegas 2025. That's a pretty big deal. So I think part of these little things that we're trying to do is recognize folks that are part of our pioneering efforts. When you are, when you say, you know what, not just Ray Heron, Club Grand member, Oliabo Club Grand member, also a member of the Oliabo Collective. And these are things that will establish the fact that you were part of the pioneering efforts in the earliest stages. So, okay, we're going to geek out on numbers. I get to, why does that say qualification? Kent, you're qualifying tonight. All right. This is a former business partner and now a current business partner, Mr. Kent Wood. This is not a current picture of either one of us. However, it was taken in Little Italy in New York City at it looks like around Christmas time, Kent. Like we look like we're on a Disney Channel show or something. But Kent is I kind of have referred to him in the past as Rain Man. He looks at the world very differently than I do. Like I look at something and he immediately kind of breaks it down into numbers, like it's the Matrix or something. And I asked Kent, hey, for his first introduction to this group, if he'd do some of his little math wizardry. I threw him some numbers about things that happened over the weekend and said, based on your calcs, could you make some predictions about future revenues, potential distributions for checks, distributor checks, these sort of things? So, Kent, you get to see your slide for the first time. Sorry, your name turned into qualification, Kent. But, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on our Tuesday night call, Mr. Kent Wood, our CFO.
Gordon and friends, I am thrilled to be part of the club. Thank you for the invitation. So excited to be here.
You want to see your picture again, Kent? There you go. We have no red eye reduction. Sorry, brother. Apparently that was before that happened. So.
Oh, to be able to go back to that amount of color in my hair and that weight. But regardless, absolutely thrilled to be with this group. What you have done in the last 4.5 days has been remarkable. And I know that many of you have been building for the last several weeks with the use of NDAs, and we all know how effective those are. But at the end of the day, you have done some remarkable things to give us some traction prior to the launch of this company. So as we try and forecast where we are going to be, the Oliabo Grand Club is most likely filling up within the next week to 2 weeks. And so my encouragement for you is to make sure that your closest friends, the people that you care about most, are part of that Oliabo Grand by making their commitment immediately. And then the 2025 collective, when we were discussing these plans yesterday, I think the original intent was to give us a runway through the end of the year. Not so fast. I think that club is probably filling up somewhere in mid-November. Aggressive projections putting it at November 1st. If you get distracted, it might be November 27th. But both of these are going to be meaningful representations of you being part of what creates our future success at Oliabo.
And Kent, maybe why don't we, when you look at the success in terms of numbers, we all do, okay? We're numbers, man's a numbers generating animal, but maybe we make some predictions about Oliabo's growth over the first few months.
Well, and this, Gordon, came from, many of you have historical connections with Joe and Gordon and Adam and I, having been at a similar company. And 23 years ago, we broke a bunch of industry records in terms of how long it took us to get to $1 million in monthly revenue, $2 million in monthly revenue, $100 million in annual revenue, and so on. We are looking at possibly our first $1 million month in January to February of 2026, just based on the number of people that you've already put into the system in the last 4.5 days. We recognize that that's a very small data set on which to do these projections, but we are very confident in terms of making sure that we assess your activity just in the last week so that we can have product and support around you to make sure that we hit some of these aggressive targets. And then our first 2 million month, we're looking at probably somewhere from February to April of next year. Both of those run rates are anywhere from 130 to 195% more aggressive than those records that we set 23 years ago.
That's
Kent,
awesome.
Kent, I gotta say, folks, if when Kent says numbers, there was an infamous moment where Kent and I both traded data before we went on stage, and Kent made some predictions, and I was like, Kent's pretty good with numbers. He's pretty good in his clairvoyance fiscally. And I was like, Kent, would you tell folks what you predict for the next year? He underestimated it, and at the time, people were like, "That's incredible. That's insane." I hope we hit it. We blew past it. So Kent, you want to drop these last ones? Because I think this is where people are looking at it and saying, what could the field be expecting as far as revenues, or distributor numbers going outwards too?
And Gordon, I apologize for the rash that your partner next to you, Curtis, got when he first saw these numbers coming from me. But that's just how we do it. And Curtis, it will get easier and easier. Actually has some amazing product to help with some of those reactions that you're going to get. But we're looking at $35 to $53 million in our first 12 months. Who does that anymore? And what a great foundation that you get to build for generations to come by coming out of the gate with that type of success. And one of the most cool things as I look at this is the impact that this is going to have on your families through the compensation plan that has been built for you. I expect us, in doing our budget for 2026, that we will average roughly $2 million a month in commission payout. And to be able to have that type of a runway prior to even selling our first product, you can have tremendous confidence that as you invite people to participate in this, there are significant rewards tied to their success.
Excellent.
I think the other great thing to point out, Kent, is that it's important for everyone to understand that we're looking at numbers like this and we're then also backing that into what kind of supply chain do we need? What kind of product and manufacturing do we need to be able to back this up, right? And so
100%, Curtis.
this gives us kind of that end-to-end view of and gives you that end-to-end view of how we think about things. Because I know in earlier conversations I've had with some of you, it was like, okay, well, are you ready? Are you ready for the heat that the field can bring? And I was like, I think we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're prepping ourselves. We're crossing T's and dotting I's. And this edition of Kent just nails that even more, so that you can be confident that we're laying the groundwork and the infrastructure from the manufacturing, from the supply chain, from the systems, from all the things that we're doing to give you runway to just run and fly and to support everything that we can to allow you to do that.
Yep. So, hey, thanks. By the way, you guys are probably proud to know that I have a couple partners now that can do math. All right. So that's I could do math, but just not in like Excel spreadsheets and zeros and ones.
The other thing I want to point out too is, like, as much as this is, and we're excited about how this is focused on those of you who are here to build a business and help us take Oliabo and our products to the world, we're also extremely excited about those of you who are exploring Oliabo from a customer perspective, right? Ultimately, it's the customers in all of us and in those that we bring on board as just a pure customer who's consuming the products that makes all this possible anyway. So we really appreciate your efforts in exploring this from a customer's perspective as well.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, that's a good segue. Oh, wait. There's one. Joe, where's this? Joe's slide. I'm going to let Joe riff on this one. Joe, you want to announce what we're already having planned for, the following year?
Yes, you bet, Gordon. Thank you very much. And Kent, welcome. So stoked that you're here, and great to be with everyone this evening. Now, I want you to all take a look at this picture real well. Look at that. And what does Gord have on this slide? Prima. This is going to be our first trip. Now, a lot of people have asked, are you guys going to do trips? Are you going to do trips? Now, from the beginning, all of our calls, we've talked about the need to bring trips back in. People love to go on trips. And there's something special. And when you just look at that picture, just for a moment, just everyone just look at that. Look at that beautiful. And when we think of Italy, we think of romance. We think of moments when you can be with loved ones and friends and walking. I remember Gordon talking about Venice, my first time going to Venice, and how the magic of hearing everyone's cutlery. You remember, Gord, you told me this, that I would experience this when I go to Venice, and I clearly did. You hear the cutlery being, because this is what people do at night. They eat, they sit around, they eat, they socialize, they're with their friends and their loved ones. And we want everyone to be able to experience this. And so our first trip, calling it Prima, of course, that's going to be for the first group. The qualifications we'll announce these in the weeks and months in the month to come. But that's going to be we're putting it out there so everyone can see it. Now, we want everyone to just look at this and visualize. And it starts with visualizing ourselves being there. I love the book Think and Grow Rich, and I know a lot of you do, with Napoleon Hill. In Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, now this was written back in the 1930s, everyone's like 1937 or 38, whatever it was. And in it, he talks about the importance of visualizing, the importance of setting goals. But then he has a very, very important part of that, and it's emotion, and attaching emotion to our dreams and our goals, and looking at that and how can we create emotion with that? Get a picture, everyone. Put a picture on your screensaver. Put a picture up on your wall, however way that works. Whatever your system is of writing that down, visualize it. Have a picture of it. Write it down so that you can look at it every day, that I'm going to qualify for the first trip, for Oliabo's first trip. And yes, of course, it's going to be to Italy. We'll give details to come, but we want this to be out there so that we can, yes, vision board. Thank you. Someone just put vision board. And I appreciate that, because there's power in that. There's a book that I just read recently by Goddard, just goes by Goddard, Neville Goddard. And it's called Feeling is the Secret. And there's something about feeling that emotion, seeing it, looking at it, and feeling that emotion that you're going to be there. And there's people on this call that have been to the top. They've been to where the air is thin. Ask them about it. Prepare for this moment and watch everything start to fall into place as you move towards this amazing goal. And we want as many as, of course, like the 1,000 and the 25, the 2025. There's going to be a limited amount of space, but there's no reason why everyone on this call can't be shooting for this and being a part of this trip. It's going to be a magical trip. It'll be trip to remember, and everyone will always remember this moment when you walked in Italy with us, Oliabo. It's going to be magical. So put it on your dream board, everyone. Put it on your dream board.
Joe, why would we, and this is leading the witness, because this is kind of, you put this in my head a little bit. Why this time of year next year? Why this particular season? What's in season at the end of October?
Thank you. Because if you're familiar with the olive season, it is, depending on where you are in Italy, somewhere between September and November, but mostly October, November. And so this is why we want this to be in the fall, so that we can be a part of this and experience the olive season and the pressing of the olive oil. It's a special moment. Gordon's experienced it. Gordon shared this on calls and was able to experience this moment over there. And we want all of us to be able to experience that. No pun intended, all of us.
Excellent. Thanks, Joe. And speaking of olive oil, Joe, while we're on that, nicely done, little brother. I appreciate that. Who's this one? Who gets to make this announcement? Is it who Rochambeaued for this? Joe or Ashley?
Joe got it. Well, but yeah, it's a team effort right now, actually.
Ashley, wouldn't have happened without you, but we're in the process of this taking place. And Gord, I'd love for you to share some of your vision behind this. But the reality is this: we're talking about extra virgin olive oil as a group. We're talking about the power of this. And we know that each one of you and those who you're talking to, you're going to go out there and you're going to say, hey, what can I get? What can I get some extra virgin olive oil? And so to kick this company off and to be like this one moment in time, like Gordon was talking about, these moments in time that only come around once, for what we're doing here, to kick this company off. We're going to be introducing in the month of November our own Oliabo branded extra virgin olive oil from Italy, of course, Gordon, from Italy. And it's going to be beautiful. This is going to be an amazing product that you can use. Now, I want Gordon to explain how this is going to flow through the system, because it has something to do with the compensation plan that's very exciting. But we know you're out there looking. You're looking for extra virgin olive oil, and it's a confusing world. I'm telling you right now, the more you dive into it, the more you realize that that extra virgin olive oil, it's like this dirty little secret. Gordon's talked about it on every single call. He's mentioned it. We've mentioned it on every one of these calls, but that you don't quite know what you're getting. You think, oh, and you start telling people, hey, extra virgin olive oil, we want to talk to you about Oliabo. And they're going to go to the store, and what are they going to get? We want them to go to you. We want them to go to you to get that. And this is a perfect package size, 250 milliliters. It's going to be great not only for your own personal use and benefit, but also for gifting around the holiday season. It's magical. So, Gord, why don't you tell them how they can get this as we kick off this company and all the sales next month?
You bet. Thanks, Joe. This started happening very organically, no pun intended, or about a month ago. Actually, about 8 weeks ago now. Hey, by the way, Ashley, can you?
Oh, I just have something right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's crazy that it's here.
She's always got secret supplies of everything. By the way, Ashley is one of these rare human beings that actually has seen unfiltered first press olive oil, that bright green stuff that we're going to show on the slide deck. But what I was gonna say about the way that this will fit in our compensation plan, we've talked about, some of you folks have heard me riffing about this, that we are introducing this as a perma sprint. If you're not familiar with what I'm saying, there's a discussion in the comp plan. We have we have sprints, and sprints are the weekly commissions that are paid, and we have our monthly commissions based on your monthly orders. But we're going to make this a perma sprint item. This is one of those things that we know we do our job right. Not only are people going to be excited about the supplements that we have to offer, but as Joe mentioned, instantaneously, you're starting to ask questions about the olive oil that's in front of you. Ray Heron knows. I started a couple months ago. I was at dinner with my wife at every Italian restaurant. I'd take a picture of the olive oil. I'm like, yeah, this is real. Yeah, this one's not olive extra virgin. And this one, and you just start to become an olive oil snob. You've met wine snobs. Sometimes they're annoying as all get out, but they know a lot about wine. Joe and I've waited tables at fine dining. They'll know a lot about wine. A wine snob. We're turning an army of people into olive oil snobs. It's equally kind of is fun. You get to say all kinds of words like phenolic and oleocanthal. But anyway, this one right here, we say nothing added, everything gained. If you're familiar with our calls to date, you'll know what that means. Let's skip ahead. Is that the last of the new slides for a little bit? I think there might be one or two later. But folks, for those of you who are new, I apologize for the nerd fest that we've just had, but it's been an exciting first week, and we wanted to make sure we did some recognition of some of the efforts that have been happening. For those of you who are new to this world, Oliabo is the name of the company. It's the name of the brand. It comes from two words, Olia in Italian, oil, the feminine of oil, and botanica, botanicals, and we're familiar with that. I have to explain sometimes because people ask, what's Vita Bella? It just means beautiful life, good life, vibrant life. And we say Italian purity meets American purpose. There's a couple of us, myself and my brother, who are genetically programmed to talk about our Italian roots. But we're very proud of the fact that this meets American purpose. We're really good at something in the United States, and that is we're good at business. That's kind of our thing. We're really good at that. So I like to say that we have Italian purity meets American purpose. So for those of you who are also new to our world, you'll notice that there's a bit of an imagery that we camp on. We started, I went black and white so that we kind of boom with color. So the world of Oliabo is this technicolor explosion of imagery that is 1950s in illustration style married with modern technology. You notice that I think it's kind of funny. There's stuff that you don't see in the 1950s, like cell phones, or the young lady at the bottom with a laptop. And I think it's kind of a fun place to camp out. We were right out of the gate. Somebody said to us, "You guys are fixing to start a renaissance," was the word, a renaissance. And it came from somebody in the software industry, and I thought that was rather interesting. So yes, I think I'm obsessed with renaissance. And the world has gone through several of them over the years. And big one was the Renaissance in the 1500s in Italy. And so anyway, that's our design style. For those of you who are new to this discussion, the origins of this start in a little town called Treviso, Italy. It's my mom. An homage to her. That's a picture of there's a lot of people that have entered the Oliabo world. Even Kent, Adam, all these folks have met my mom over the years. She didn't look like this. She was in her senior years when some of you folks met her. This is my mother when she was about the year before she immigrated to Canada. It's a pharmacy she worked for in the background in this photo. It looks just like this today. It has not changed one bit. It will be the same. If you go to this bridge, Ponte San Martino, I believe it was called, that looks exactly the same right now as it did when my mom left, okay? Doesn't change. It's kind of beautiful. So here's the thing that I was describing earlier and Joe mentioned. This is what olive oil looks like when you're first pressing it. Extra virgin olive oil, its first press comes out as bright green. It is this vibrant life force of energy. It's one of the original, I'd say, first of all, olive oil is the OG essential oil. It actually is an essential oil, not disrespecting lavender or patchouli or anything like that. I don't know that if it's essential to life, though, to rub patchouli on me. But anyway, I'm just saying olive oil is the OG fruit extract, nutritional extract, It's an extraction from a fruit, and that's what it looks like when it's first being pressed. Now, that bright green material is fruit material or organic material that is filtered out, and what is left is this beautiful, but there's a residue of green in a good extra virgin olive oil. But we've been skipping around this beautiful botanical for years, and everybody acknowledges, it's probably pretty good for you. Everybody knows that. Hey, the Bible talks about it 100, 30 times or something like this. Oh, you know what? I wonder if there's something more to this olive thing. So, okay, this is our problem. Joe alluded to this. It's a problem. Okay, I'm not just being that guy that does a Sundance documentary about every single conspiracy in America. That's a Sundance formula, by the way. Take it from a guy who spent some time making independent films. Every Sundance formula is like, here's the problem, the documentary parts, and it's like, you didn't even know there were conspiracies. This one is a problem. Here's what we're being sold. Packed in Italy, olive oil, imported. But you look at the back, it's refined olive oil mixed with extra virgin olive oil. And not just the packed in Italy part bothers me, but it's produced in Italy and Tunisia. By the way, Tunisia, sure, it's a great country. It's not in Italy. Okay. Curtis.
Yeah, so olives and olive oil. Why are we talking about olives and olive oil, right? They've been around for thousands of years, and sure, they're good for us, right? That's great. But what's new and exciting about that? Well, let me introduce you to the awareness gap. The awareness gap is essentially the gap between common belief or ancient wisdom and modern scientific empirical discoveries that have happened recently, right? So olives and olive oil are a perfect example of the awareness gap. Common belief, olives and olive oil are good for you, healthy part of a healthy diet like the Mediterranean diet. And that's true. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we most of us understand and think of when we think of olives and olive oil. But the actual modern discoveries that have happened in just the last 10 to 20 years have shown us that high quality olive tree derived products, not just olives and olive oil, but olive tree derived products, which we'll get into, contain powerful phytonutrients, polyphenols, and antioxidants that offer incredibly superior nutritional support that we had no idea about until recently. And so that gap is the awareness gap.
Sorry.
And the opportunity lies in crossing that gap and filling that gap with products that work, with stories, with an incredible, compelling compensation plan, and all the other pieces that we put together in Oliabo to be able to fill that gap with customers, with business builders like yourselves, to help people, to bring the benefits of these things into their lives, and to build successful businesses and revenue as a result.
So, Curtis, I don't know, who wants to, we go Rochambeau for who does slides. You want to do this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we've been hearing about the Mediterranean diet for the last, probably last 10, 15 years. It's become more widely known and people have been aware of it. Now, one of the major components and secrets of the Mediterranean diet is extra virgin olive oil and the consumption of extra virgin olive oil. For example, the average Italian consumes 14 liters of high quality extra virgin olive oil per year, EVO, extra virgin olive oil. The Greeks, 20 liters. Greeks and the Italians are always trying to one-up each other. And in this one, the Greeks seem to win out. The average American, on the other hand, or in many other countries and places in the world, consume 1 liter of crappy olive oil per year. So much lower quality and much less. And the reason why this is important to understand is because consuming a good quality extra virgin olive oil regularly has wide-ranging health benefits. You want to jump into these stats?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Some of you have seen these stats before. We've updated a few of them, but cardio support, brain health, not artificial stimulation of the central nervous system like caffeine. By the way, I'm a fan of caffeine. It is 8 o'clock at night and I'm still awake, so good for caffeine. But that's not brain health. Brain health, I'm talking about the sticky proteins in your the beta amyloid proteins that accumulate and unfortunately generate some really horrible statistics in North America that they don't have in Europe. And it's the Mediterranean paradox. And so brain health, 30 milliliters a day approximately, like you're talking, tablespoon or two of extra virgin olive oil. Brain health, cardio support, longevity. Look at this stat. this is not me talking. These are scientifically peer-reviewed medical journals. 8 to 9% lower all-cause mortality. That's less death. 8 to 9% less death. I don't know about you guys. I would like less death in my world. Digestive health supports good gut health. Everybody's talking about gut health. Can't swing a dead cat without hearing somebody talk about gut health. It's very important, and we got it in spades. Inflammatory. Ashley, can I lead the witness? I describe Ashley as this wonderful human being that has what I call Larry Bird back. Anybody that was a basketball fan knows Larry Bird was constantly had back problems. Ashley has like a herniated disc, right? Did I get that?
Larry Bird back is correct, actually. Yeah, that's what I call it.
That's the proper term.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. I'm about as tall as him. I know you guys can't tell either. But so we found this component in olive oil that's called oleocanthal, and it has the best anti-inflammatory effect for your skin, for your body, and we're really excited to share our products that feature this as well.
And Ashley discovered this word oleocanthal. By the way, we were on this, we were just like riffing about how excited we were. And Ashley comes in and she's like, by the way, there's a superstar nutrient in this that nobody knows about called oleocanthal. And the way that it was discovered, Ashley, why don't I lead the witness on that one a little bit? I can't remember the dude's name. You talked about this one.
Yeah, Gary Beecham.
Yeah. So Gary Beecham is a sensory chemist that ended up on a food tour down in Sicily and had some olive oil. And he said, hey, I'm a sensory chemist. Somebody put uncoated ibuprofen in my olive oil. And they're like, no, that's just what it does. There's a natural burning sensation on the back of their throat caused by a component called oleocanthal. They didn't have a name for it. He gave it a name. I think it was a benthenone.
And it's interesting. If you go back to that other slide for a quick second. So we're introducing a couple new words here on that inflammation piece. HPEVO stands for high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. So that's a step up from regular extra virgin olive oil in that it's specially cultivated olive oil that is high in polyphenols, which are an incredible group of compounds that are very, very potent antioxidants. One of those being oleocanthal. And if you look at the study, Beecham, that's that guy's name right there, 2005. This is a few years after he had this experience in Sicily, and he started digging into these properties of a high quality, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and he came up with the term oleocanthal. And that's really when a lot of this modern scientific discovery started happening around these crazy, amazing benefits of extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah.
High phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and these compounds like oleocanthal and others on the next slide that are exclusive to olive tree derived products, verbascicide, oleocanthal, oleuropein, just to name a few. So it's an incredible opportunity because it's so new, relatively speaking. The history is ancient, but the knowledge and understanding and wisdom of the scientific discoveries about what these things are and what they do is brand new, including the manufacturing techniques and technology and processes that allow us to do some really unique things and pull out some unique extracts to create some incredible products.
Yes. What's crazy, think about this. That picture that you saw earlier of a very young Kent Wood and myself, that's about the same time the first study started to come out about this and the extraction methods. So oleocanthal is one of the things that we are able to harness in our product. And we call our proprietary blend Olivectin. We have 2 intellectual property partners on this adventure. Both are European, both have intellectual property on how to extract phytonutrients from the leaf of the olive and the fruit of the olive. Both are put together. If you look for the word Olivectin, it doesn't exist except for in the USPTO because we have a trademark on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of that to get to this point. This is not just the name of our first incentive trip. This is the name of our first product that will be available here very shortly. Prima, the life force of the olive tree, submitted to you in a very convenient little form here. This is our premier product. Prima in Italian simply means first. It just means first, like first press extra olive oil. A little bit of a side note, my first daughter's name is Leah, L-I-A. I would call her in Italian tradition, Prima, the first. She's my first kid. Her name appears in the name of this company. I think it's funny. My cousin pointed that out, and she's in Italy. By the way, we're going to have her on one of these calls. Unfortunately, it's like 2 a.m. over there right now, right? So, 30-day supply of sealed nutrients in a little pillow pack. Here's what comes in each one of these packets. By the way, if you can't notice, this is the product. It's a tin. A tin. Oh, a tin. But not inside, not olive oil inside these little nutrient packets. So olive oil, the benefits of extra virgin olive oil in these little soft gel caps. Each pillow pack contains 2 high in oleocanthal olive oil infused with rosemary caps. We have a product called Olivectin. It's a proprietary blend of the leaf and the fruit, like we mentioned, in a separate cap. And then something we call Rosa, which just means red in Italian. And it's a proprietary blend of grapeseed extract and lycopene. Curtis.
I think so, you know, a lot of the stats that we showed before were just specific to a consistent consumption of good quality extra virgin olive oil. So here we're talking about the combination of that word we introduced earlier, the high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, but not just any old high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, even though that's, you know, a much better quality extra virgin olive oil than regular extra virgin olive oil. We're talking about a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that's also high in oleocanthal. There's varying degrees of HP EVO. So high in oleocanthal. And then that olivectin, that leaf extract, the fruit pulp extract, and then the rosa, all these different things combined is just this incredible blend of things that allows you to get that life force into your lives every day. But people often ask, well, okay, you've been talking about a tablespoon of this or 2 tablespoons of that. But the thing to think about is it's not the volume necessarily as much as it is the potency of the componentry within that volume, right?
Yep.
You could take you could drink a gallon of certain cheap kinds of watered down extra virgin olive oil that could have very little to no health benefits, right? But you could have a teaspoon or less of a really high phenolic compounded with olivectin and other things, and it would be way through the roof on the health benefits. So think of it that way when you're thinking about the componentry versus the volume. And so that's what we've really focused on, is making it simple to get these incredible compounds and this componentry into yours and ours, our daily lives, in a simple form factor that has that componentry in a compact, easy formula.
Yeah, and by the way, coming back to that stat that we heard earlier, about 14 liters of extra virgin olive oil, the Italians have elevated incorporating olive oil into an art form. It's part of everything. Like it's part of a dessert cake. It's part of, they'll have a tablespoon on an empty stomach in the morning. That's not a very American thing. We're good salespeople. I don't think we're that good. So this is where the American ingenuity meets. We have a great way that you can have this as part of your diet every day and supercharge it. By the way, let me point this out. It's not just limited to internal. Olive oil. It's the original OG hypoallergenic skincare product. It has surfactants. It has emollients. It reduces inflammation, antioxidant protection, and we have a organic skincare formulator as part of our team here, Ashley Brown. Ashley, you want to start out maybe talking about this one and showing how to use it?
Yes, of course. I'm actually going to show you how to use it today. Gordon had a great idea. I was like, yes, why aren't we showing every time? But so flax is the main component in this is olive oil. It's a extremely high oleocanthal olive oil. So what we do with this is we take, let me make sure. Oh, no, wrong bottle. Sorry. The green bottle is it. What we do is we take some and warm it up in our palm. So what this does, it has components from the olive tree that help it seep down deep into your muscles. It helps relieve some tension, some aches, some pains. And since it does have oleocanthal in it, it does have that scientifically backed anti-inflammatory effect. Also, Gordon, I'm going to remember this time. As you always remind me, I remember. So
Sure.
This has a beautiful component called pericarp, mangosteen pericarp oil, which is also a huge anti-inflammatory and one of the reasons that this works so well. So it's been in my palm for a second. What I do is I take it, I want to rub it into wherever it's hurting. I've had my brother, my dad use it for their tennis elbow. So what you do is you rub it in like this, you wait. I mean, this is honestly, that's it. I'll wait about 5 to 10 minutes and then I'll come back and say, okay, is this working? I still do it every time because I'm like, how does this work? This is just crazy, but it works every single time. And every single time I'm still surprised because this is olive oil. This has been around forever. And it's just now surfacing that this actually works. But yeah, I'm pumped for you guys to try it.
And I think it goes back to that combination of like the ancient wisdom and that common belief mixed with now the new scientific discoveries that certain compounds like oleocanthal and high concentrated high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and you figured out that can then be mixed with some other things to make it transdermal and topical. So it's like that old with the new, and that's what makes it such an incredible opportunity to bring these incredible benefits to people, both from a health perspective and the opportunity to build a really robust business and financial opportunity as well.
And what we've discovered is also there's an oil from the mangosteen seed that Ashley has got her hands on as well that makes appearances in some of our products. Mangosteen pericarp has a great transdermal story. The problem historically has been delivery of that mangosteen xanthone content into the skin, drive it into the skin. But there's this component of olives, squalane, that Ashley has taught us all that it mimics the body's own squalene. That is an oil that is created, unfortunately, in less quantities as we age, which contributes to fine lines and wrinkles. But if you notice, I'm starting to get a glow to my skin because I'm using this other product that Ashley has developed. Ashley, just a real quick, folks,
Yes.
I'll let you rip about this, but if you didn't notice at the beginning, my mother's hometown is Treviso. It means three faces. Viso means face in Italian. And we have a 3-part skincare program that we'll be launching early on in the company. And we named it after my mom. So Ashley, you want to start?
Yes.
Why don't we just talk about this one tonight, okay?
Perfect. So the problem I've been having is finding the right olive oil for this Viso Luxe. And Joe comes with the most beautiful scented olive oil. And it is so good on your skin and it's such a good feel. This smell is incredible. And I can't wait for you to smell this because this is a little bit different. So we've been reformulating, making sure that this will fit on your skin. And it does exactly what it said it will do. So this is beautiful also. So what it does is help soothe fine lines and wrinkles. And I seriously use 1 or 2 drops. I use it in the morning and I use it at night. I rub it between my fingers and I put it right here where my smile lines are and right here on my forehead because also who doesn't have wrinkles that smiles, you know? We got to do what we got to do. But I use it in the morning right after I get up. After I shower, I put it on, I put it under my makeup, and then sometimes I even put it over my makeup to look more hydrated. It just gives you this beautiful, youthful glow. Also, Gordon was talking about the mangosteen seed oil. This is what gives it this beautiful sheen on your face. It doesn't look greasy. It doesn't look like you're just putting oil on because it has this component called squalane, which Gordon touched on, that helps it absorb into your skin. And just, man, this I've been dying to make something like this. So I'm excited for you to try this as well.
Someone just posted in the chat. I think this is going to be your next product to go tackle. And actually, some of what we've already got probably could do it. How about something for hydrating dry curly hair?
Oh.
There might be hair care products.
I have all the ideas. You keep throwing them at me. I'm so excited to just keep this going and making the most natural, clean products out there.
And this is something I want to note. I don't know that we note this a little bit. We touch on this a little bit, but think about all the products that we're talking about. I mean, these ones we've specifically just talked about, the skincare, the Flex. Ashley specifically has a certification that she's now used to formulate these products herself, right? She's a core member of the team. She formulated these products herself. The HP Evo, the other things that are going into Prima, these are our formulations that we've created. It's not like we've gone just to a manufacturer and we're like, hey, you know, we think we want to do something with olives. We've heard they're good for you. Like, can you spin some idea up for us and give us a product? No, we are, each of us, deeply invested and involved in the process of creating and formulating these products. Like personally, so 2.5 years ago, my wife and I were in Italy traveling for just vacation, for fun. And we spent a day on an olive farm. And it wasn't just any olive farm. It happened to be an olive farm that was specifically focused on high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. I had no idea what that meant. I was just, yeah, olives and olive oil are good. I put it on a salad. That's great. They educated me on high phenolic extra virgin olive oil and a lot of other things. And so I've been sourcing my own and taking it as a shot, which, it's pretty potent and it's hard to do that every day. But I've been doing that for those 2.5 years since then. And so when Gordon brought this idea up of these olive derived products earlier this year, I was like, I am so on board, because do you know about HP Evo? And we were just riffing, and then everybody just started piling on their ideas and their experiences. And so we are deeply involved in this process.
And so are these folks on the line. Thank you. By the way, this is, I had the most beautiful compliment. What Curtis is saying here is that I said to Ray, and we'll hear from Ray here in a minute, but Ray, I was like, Ray, can you handle a little wet paint? Because Ray's like, I want to get an advanced jump on this thing, because we're going to have to start an education army. And I said, yeah. So when I say wet paint, we were well down the process, but some of you folks watched us refine some of these things in the final stages here. And we say, simply natural, simply you. By the way, the wonderful young lady that presented this, Ashley, routinely gets mistaken for someone much younger than she. Can I say that, Ashley? How do you say that delicately? Anyway, Ashley looks really young. I tell people that we worked together for almost 20 years, and they're like, what was she, 4? And I was like, well, not quite, but there's secrets. Success leaves clues. I'm going to finish up with a couple quick things here. You'll notice that our products, including this one right here, has a standard of safe purity on it. I won't bore you with the details. It's one of those things that should be, when you have something great, should be treated with respect. We put a seal of approval on every one of our products.
Well, let me just touch on that real quick, because it's important. I know that everyone on this call, including us, really are aware of and care about the products that we're bringing into our lives, into our bodies, into our families' lives and bodies, and that we're sharing and that we're selling, as far as the business side is concerned. And this seal is our promise of purity, quality, and trust. Like I said, we're deep into the very specific aspects of creating these products. And that includes the supply chain from beginning to end, sourcing the products, developing direct relationships with the growers and the manufacturing processes in the EU, which have very high, strict standards of quality, and all the way through the chain of command that brings it here and allows us to put all that together into the products. So this is our seal, which will be on all of our products. That is our promise of purity, quality, and trust. It's important that you know that that's critical in the way that we think about products.
It's true. Curtis, thank you, because I was going to glaze over this because I'm trying to stick to the time frame, but you're right. Italians have something they call bella figura. It doesn't just mean they describe Sophia Loren's bella figura. It means something that's done properly should be treated with respect, including the fact that you put take the time, the extra 3 seconds in the manufacturing process to say this thing has been checked. And the seal of approval is very important. There's a historic character on here from Roman mythology named Minerva. She's the goddess that gifted olive oil to the planet. This was pre-Christianity. I think it's kind of funny. She's Italians are a little bit superstitious. You don't put that on your label if you're going to mess with it. You get bad luck or something. Anyway, the olive standard of health, folks. We're going to finish up here with a couple of quick comments. We have.
Here.
Yeah, go.
I just love this one.
You want this one.
I want this one. I want this one because I want you to recognize, as we've been taking you through this journey, this is an experience. This is a package that we're putting together. I didn't be so bold as to say the total package, right? Oliabo, it's a powerful story, unique products. We're building an empowered community with a proven system and model, a compelling comp plan, which we don't have time to go into tonight, but we'll share more information. And some of you have some information on that you can share with each other. And we've got an experienced team that knows how to execute and bring this all together to make it happen. And the timing is incredible
Yeah.
And so we're driving this forward. I hope you're catching that vision.
And exactly. And this is where we kind of finish. There's a few things in here that we finish a statement that was started years ago. And I think this is funny. Can't test my witness, and Adam too, that my younger brother here, Giuseppe, Zio Pepe. Zio Pepe means Uncle Joe, which my kids call him Zio Pepe. And Joe leaves every time he leaves my house, he looks at my kids and he goes, Zio Pepe, out. And he just like leaves, like Kramer style. It's kind of funny. Joe said years ago in 2002, 2003, when we launched another adventure, and people were starting to generate a little giddy up in their step, and they started to get some confidence in their home business. Joe said, hey, with this company, it's safe to dream again. And that was a year after 9/11, Joe said that. And I kind of mocked him a little bit, like, dude, that's really Tony Robbins-ish. And Joe's like, I like it. And people started quoting him, and I'm like, well, what do I know? I'm just a curmudgeon older brother. So I was saying in 2025, it's safe to dream again. And that's Joe right there. For those of you who can't notice, the man on the screen there is that picture. And we'll leave you with a couple of things. Social media, we're there. We're not doing a ton right now pre-market, but we're about to explode it. We have some pretty great things in store. I like to tell people we keep certain surprises close to our vest. I'll leave you with this slide. Salute simply means to your health in Italian. Any self-respecting Italian group having lunch or dinner will raise their glasses several times during that lunch and dinner and say salute. It just means to your health. Honestly, you jinx your universe. In Italy, if you don't raise your glass and say salute at dinner with some people that you care about, they're going to think that you're rude. And also, they're going to think you're jinxing your planet. I don't believe in luck. You can't duplicate it, but I'll take good luck about it. And anyway, so there you go. Salute, folks. And that being said,
Let's answer a few questions, and then we'd love to. Yeah, well, we appreciate you bearing with us and taking some time. We're going to answer a few questions, and then we'd love to have Ray take us out. I think
Sure.
that's kind of where we want to go with this. So, a couple things to note: those of you who have gotten on board and are in the back office and checking things out and starting to share things around, we're continuing to refine a few pieces and elements there. So just know that you'll continue to see updates there. And then as we get closer to the pre-order period, we'll be sure to be announcing that via email and through these presentations as well, so that you'll then know when that's kind of going to be rolled out and have access to how that works. A couple things. So somebody asked, is our Oliabo brand olive oil, is it going to be HP Evo? It'll be a high quality extra virgin olive oil, because a truly high quality HP Evo is got a lot of great health benefits, but it's not something you want to be using in your culinary life necessarily, because it'll take a good salad to whoa, that salad's burning the back of my throat, and it's not the best from that perspective. But all those stats that we showed you are from a good quality extra virgin olive oil. So this will be a high quality culinary type extra virgin olive oil for your salads, for your baking, for your dipping your bread in, for just another way to get these components into your lives in a good, healthy, clean way through another product that then can be in your lives and that you can then represent. Another question here. A reminder, if any of you would like to be on the mailing list, if you're not on the mailing list, please send a message to support@oliabo.com, and we can make sure we're getting you on that so that you can keep up with the latest updates. Let's see.
So while you're looking at those, I've got a question that I've got quite a few times now in my text messages. Text messages are coming in like crazy. The question is, how do I find out if I'm in that first 1,000 or first 2,025 individuals? Is it based on your ID number? The ID numbers are somewhat randomized, so that was on purpose, so you guys can't exactly see how we get to that first 1,000 individuals. So we will be announcing that here in the coming weeks, so watch for those details to come. But start getting your people in. If you're on this call and you're not in yet, get signed up, because we're going to be taking that first 1,000 for the grant, and then we're going to also be taking the 2,025 individuals for the collective. I was close.
We just launched it today, Adam.
Yeah.
Memorize everything?
Yeah. haven't memorized that one yet.
So a couple questions again on launch. So right now we're in the enrollment period. So anybody that is interested and that wants to learn about it and wants to enroll can enroll, and then they can start building and enrolling others as well. We'll then be we're targeting to open up a pre-order period towards the end of October or early November. And then, approximately 30 days after that is when we'll have product starting to out the door shipping. So right now around end of November is what that's looking like, with the information from our manufacturer as of yesterday, I believe was the latest update. So sign up, people are asking how to sign up. So whoever you heard from about this call, this presentation, they have a link that they can share with you. And so ask them how to sign up, how to learn more, how to get involved. They can share a link with you and you can get access that way. The pre-launch period will be about right now another 2 to 3 weeks for the enrollment period. Then pre-orders for another 3 to 4 weeks, and then shipping. So that's kind of that rollout. No details. No, we're not going to dig into the compensation plan, Premio Pay Tonight. I know that might be disappointing to a few of you. It's just the time constraints with where we're at. But I promise you, we will do another presentation on that sometime this week. So we'll send out information. We're also creating a short video to break that down and go over that as well, that you can start to share with each other. So make sure you're on the mailing list so that we can get that out to you and you can get that out to other people and use that.
We're expanding tomorrow. We should probably point that out. Like right now, we're trying to jam 5 pounds of flour into a 4-pound bag because tomorrow we knocked out a wall over the weekend. We didn't. Somebody did, and the landlady
You
doesn't
didn't
want us.
know I ran through it.
It looks like it could be.
Yeah.
We're expanding. We'll be doubling the size of the office here by tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be a little chaotic. That I'm just pointing out there.
But initial products, we're initially going to be launching with Prima and possibly our Oliabo brand extra virgin olive oil. And then quickly thereafter, we'll be launching Flex, and then shortly thereafter that would be launching Treviso. So that's kind of the initial rollout. We've got other products lined up for down the road, and we'll talk about those another time in the future.
Can I add to that real quick? So Curtis talked about doing a more simplified comp plan video that you guys can be able to share. But if you guys have suggestions and ideas on things that'll help you to share Oliabo, to grow your businesses, send those to support@oliabo.com, because we will look at those. Curtis and I are going to start going through, and we're just going to start cranking out some of these assets for you guys to be able to start sharing.
Yeah, that's a great point, Adam. Thank you.
Let me intro Ray.
Do it.
I do a bad job of this every week, and Ray is. You couldn't ask for a better, master distributor, if you want to call it that, or what are we calling you, Ray? Founding distributor, master distributor. He's Ray. He's my good friend for many, many years, more than I probably care to admit. Ray, I'm just going to say this. I was thinking about this the other day. There was this beautiful moment many years ago. Ray and his wife, his wonderful wife, and Cheryl, and my wife Rachel. We were sitting in Florence and was on a achiever trip. And Ray, I remember Ray loves a good cup of coffee. He had his espresso after dinner. He's like, "Is it bad?" Then I ordered another coffee. I'm like, "No, it's Italy." I think he ordered like 2 espressos after dinner, and he's like, "Just food." Ray'd spent time in Italy before. I think he was just relaxed. It was a really great space. He's one of the best people on the planet. He's not from Italy originally. You'll be able to tell from his accent. But man, when he talks, people listen, including me. Success leaves clues. He's still in Suttons Bay. You're in Suttons Bay. I can tell from your background. You're about to move south, I think, Ray, for the winter.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's moving day for all of us. So, Ray, my good friend, you've been top of the heap many times in other companies, and I've been lucky enough to watch you. Would you do me a big solid tonight and leave us folks with a few words of wisdom here?
I'd be happy to, Gordon. I'm so honored to be here. And I want to call you out in front of a few hundred people here. You owe me a phone call.
Yeah, I do. Sorry, brother. It's been a crazy day.
Well, you know how much I love you. All you guys tonight, great presentation. And when I say guys, Ashley, she knows I mean her as well. Ain't she pretty? She's going to sell a lot of skincare for a lot of us all over the world. You know what comes through listening to the presentation here tonight? I've seen a few people. Yeah, it's a little longer than you'd like. I get it. I get it. But if you knew what I knew about these people and where this company's going, you'd have all night long to sit and listen to them. What comes through is the pride of what you're bringing forth. I know you're proud of Oliabo and what you're going to be able to do for all of us in this industry. This industry, it needs some healing, and Oliabo is going to be the Band-Aid, I believe. Folks, look, how many of you have been to church? I hope a lot of you, but you get an altar call at the end of the church. I'm gonna do my best to give you my altar call to take this thing about as serious as you can. Joe, by the way, loved your words tonight. I'm I'm from Oklahoma, so I ramble. I'm thinking about Italy and the coffee and the fine cars. Gordon and I tooling around in a Ferrari over there. Life is grand. I want to give you a glimpse of why you want to earn that trip coming up in the fall of 2026. I don't know what it's going to do. Now, maybe you're not going to walk out of this beautiful 5-star hotel and take your pick from Ferraris to Porsches, Mercedes, you name it, whatever car you want to drive around Italy. But that's the kind of things this company and Gordon's creative mind plans for all of us. Whatever it's going to be, I promise you it's going to be unique, and you absolutely don't want to miss it for sure. So that's my plug for trying to earn. I don't care what the qualifications are, I'm in, and that's the kind of attitude you need to have as well. Kentwood, man, welcome to Oliabo. I'm so glad that you're here. Here's what I do know. When you get to live as long as I've lived, and I hope all of you get to live at least that long. It's a long time. It's not that you're smarter, I don't think. But when you've lived as long as I have, and you've spent 40 years in this industry, there's some things in life you just have a knowing, just a knowing. I'm going to tell you, I know how this one's going to turn out. I mean, I've had a preview, about a 17-year preview. I know what this one's going to do. It's going to be larger, I think considerably larger than a company that I got to participate with for 17 years with these young Morton boys. They're young to me, right? To these guys. So I know what they're going to do. I don't know what I got to say to cause you not to miss this. You don't want to miss it. Gordon, I'm going to challenge you, and Kent, I appreciate all those numbers that you threw out there tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, the growth of this company is going to challenge all the business acumen that you guys have, and you have a lot of it. I'm not worried. I know you'll be able to control it, but it's going to keep you up late at night. It's going to be one of the fastest growing companies not one of, this will be the fastest growing network marketing company that you've seen probably in your lifetime. How do you grow it fast? I'm going to give you the recipe for success because I've had a preview of that as well. Number one, just don't get caught doing less than you can do. That's the recipe for failure. The opposite of that, doing all that you can do during this window of time. We're going to hit the switch here in just a few weeks. Don't miss this. Don't miss this window of time. I'm going to challenge everybody on this call tonight. If you decided you want to make a business here with this company, Oliabo, if you haven't got 3 people personally enrolled, at least 3. Some of you have a lot more. Congratulations. Some of you don't have any yet. I get to see all of that back office. I want to encourage you. Go get a minimum of 3 people, introduce them to the information, get them involved. This is what we did 17 years ago. We started out, we had a product called Zango. It was bottles of juice, and it was sold by the case. That many years ago, we had, I said 17 years ago, it's been, 23 years ago, right? Anyway, we had a case of Zango sold for over $100, and everybody came in with a 2-case monthly auto ship is what we called it at the time. Here's my recipe for success here with this one. Do the minimum. For me, I think the minimum is simply this. When we're able to order at least 2 Primas per month on subscription and teach your organization, at least three, to do the very same thing. That's called duplication, and it works. And you have a great relationship. Everybody has a great relationship with 3. Thank you, Michael Arsenault. You're on here tonight. I'm going to introduce you to Ashley soon. Michael Arsenault talks about the power of 3. And Gordon's compensation plan is me plus 3. So everybody gets 3. Everybody gets on a 2-case or 2 bottles of Prima per month. We duplicate that. We just duplicated it. A good friend of mine taught me this. He said, if you got the recipe for a dozen cookies, you got the recipe for 1,000 dozen cookies. And that's just how network marketing works. Everybody knows 3, 9, 27, 81, 243. That's just exactly how it works. How do you end up? And you look back in your life, you go, how did I have millions of people in an organization? It started just like that. I guarantee you, this is the one you absolutely don't want to miss. And I'm here for you. Right now I'm averaging, last week I averaged 14 and a half hours a day on my phone. Now it's over 15. I don't know how many days I can continue that, but I'm going to keep on. I'm going to be here for each and every one of you. And I promise you, I'm your biggest fan. Kent, you better do some more forecasting. You guys are about to go off like a Roman candle. This thing is going to be spectacular, and you're going to be so proud that you just believed in me or the one that invited you here just enough. Just have enough faith to say, maybe that old guy knows what he's talking about. Promise you that I do. I got a knowing about this one. It's going to be something the world's going to be talking about for many years to come. That's my altar call. Go for it.
Ray, you're the best. I appreciate you, brother. I'll call you as soon as this call's over. I've been busier than a one-legged man in a behind kicking contest, and only man from Oklahoma could appreciate an analogy like that. So, hey, thank you, Ray. Thank you, everybody on this call. Grazie tante. Sono felice di essere. I should probably say a few things about that, like in Italian, just to close it out. Buonanotte, that just means good night, and dormire bene, sleep well. Till next week, and thank you for all your efforts. By the way, if you haven't figured out, I was going to launch the 500 promotion, which is the first 500. We blew past that, so I had to. That's it. I'm getting texts like, "Where's the number at?" I'm like, "I'm just giving you a range. That's all I'm telling you." Okay, so anyway, all right, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Recording stop.